All right, we're back to do some coding on the MyBreadth app, rebuilding it. Let's get the screen shared. All right, so here we are. Um, I did build a GitHub repository for this, so we're all good there. Everything's backed up. Let's put my comment in here. Oh yeah, so I actually can't see this, but the login and registration is complete. So that is done. Everything works. All the form data is validated. Confirm against the database that the user doesn't already exist. Confirm the login and password are in the database. So we're good there. We've got the MySQL database built. And I think I have an idea now for how to bring in the stock data and put it into a portfolio. So we're going to work on that. And hopefully, I don't have a ton of time today, but hopefully we can get a portfolio displayed. I'm not going to do the API stuff today. As of right now, oh, I didn't say this is a .py file. Going to need that. So I am going to put the stocks in a class that way, because they will attach to the portfolio by a stock ID. Excuse me. Right. Uh-oh. Oh, I almost forgot that. So we're going to need that. Self dot stock ID. I think so. Let me oops, cancel. Let me double check the SQL database real quick. I'm pretty sure that is how I set it up. Log star from portfolio. Yeah, okay. Ooh, I forgot to change it to. I forgot to change this to stocks to be singular, but I don't think that's going to be a problem for right now. I should have gone in and changed these to make these. Here, I'll show the. I should have made these singular, but that's okay. Eventually, I'm going to have to drop the tables, and just do a whole new schema in there anyway before I go live with it and deploy it. So that's fine. This is just kind of a dummy database for right now, and then we'll make sure it's exactly the way it needs to be. But I will make a note of that for stocks table. User ID and singular. Okay, so that's just a change we need to make. So we'll just confirm what we've got so far in the front end is working with the current database. So let's go ahead and fire this thing up. Get the virtual environment going. I do like this pipenv a lot better than the venv because I don't have to write out. It's just easier to activate unless I just don't know how to properly activate the venv. But for that one, I was having to do like source venv slash bin slash activate. This one, I just pipenv shell. And with the venv, I was having issues with the GitHub repository. Like it was uploading just a ton of extra data that didn't seem necessary. Whereas pipenv, it just seems much simpler. It's all in these two files here. So far so good. I'd like prefer this pipenv, and it's an easy install. Okay, so let's run this server.py. Let me get a Chrome window up. All right, so this is where we are. We know registration works. Let's go ahead and just register someone new. I do this every day, I'm gonna run out of names, but there's always Luke Skywalker. Um, I'll just do Skywalker. Skywalker, that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, that's 8, and then, oops. Actually, I have to make this simpler. Okay. Ooh, I'm glad this came up. So what do we got going on here? These worked fine yesterday. Let's see what we got. In portfolio.py line 27. Oh, I guess I didn't try this. I haven't tried this since I joined all these tables. So got some work to do here. Let me print the results here and make sure we're getting what we should be getting. That's right. Was tired yesterday. Gave up. I feel like these join tables are a bit confusing, but like once you nail it, then you have this and it works, and it's a nice unlock for the entire project. So that's okay. I'm gonna reload this page to see what we get for results. So okay, so we got something wrong. Oh, and here's why, because see, this should have been, these are both plural in the SQL database. Oh, I'm wondering if I should just remake yeah, I think I'm gonna just dump the database and redo it. I'll just show that in case anybody doesn't know how to. 1 second. Whoops, what's going on here? Let me just, yeah, let's see, gosh. Okay, so what we can do, so here we have this MyBreadth schema, which has the 3 tables. And if we run the portfolios table, see, we can see here, this is users and stocks. They should be singular. I'm just gonna go ahead and change it now. And then it should work fine. And hopefully that join then works. So what we're gonna do is, well, let me do it this way. 1 second. I'm basically just gonna open this file because this is saved. I'm just gonna do it on my computer. So I know you can like reverse engineer and like forward engineer everything, but honestly, at least the amount of tables I do today, I don't see the point of, like, why not just save the model? Because then I don't have to deal with all that. So let's see. All right, so all I did was just open the file for MySQL. And so in here, normally I just completely forgot to go in and actually change these to make them singular. You don't have to do that, I guess. And actually, I'd like to just being a little OCD about things, but I like these to be moved up. Also, not sure why you can't drag and drop. I heard you used to be able to do that, but you have to do this. Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes makes you do that as well. The mobile game for your squads, which is super annoying. Okay, so user ID, stock ID. I might as well just double check. Okay, int, auto increment, not null, force rate 255, date time. Okay, that looks fine. Might as well double check these while I'm in here. with a clear head. Name 255, ticker, don't need to be more than that. Timestamps, ID, auto increment, first name, last name, 255, username, password, date, time. Okay, now everything looks good. So what we can do, just save this. And when we do the forward engineering, actually, we'll do both of these. Actually, I don't even think we need this one. Drop objects. Yeah, we'll do both. So you got to be careful with this though, because if you do it and you didn't want to get, like maybe you named this, maybe you named the model wrong. It might, named it one of your old, and it's easy to do in SQL or the SQL workbench, because sometimes I like to forget what I'm working in if you're working on a bunch of different stuff. So just be careful if you hit those. You're not going to drop a table you don't want to drop. Okay, so that's saved. Oops. Okay, here we go. And you can see they're moved and now they're singular. So database looks good. Don't need that anymore. Let's rerun this page if it didn't already destroy yeah, okay. So where is oh, maybe I closed out of it. Did I close out of it? No, I think I did. Okay, that's okay. Rerun it. All right. Ooh, I don't like that. For some reason, I was logged in. Oh, because I guess the session stored fine. That didn't cause a problem. I should probably do something in the code, because you don't want. There should be an if statement here that if in register, oops, no, in register, nope. Yeah, I should make this so that if this doesn't work, that this doesn't happen. Let's solve this problem first, and then get back to that. Although I don't know how it would store session ID. Oh, whatever. Let's just see how this works for now. Okay, so we will. Okay, still have an error. It's okay. That will at least be printed out. Ah, we don't need that. Or wait, seems to be fine with this one. Portfolios. Left join on stocks.id. Ah, can't spell. Interesting. I'm surprised it didn't give me an error for this being singular, though. Huh. Because these weren't the right column names. But okay, so I just reloaded it and it looks like it worked fine. But I do want to see what we get for results anyway. Oh my gosh, because I'm looking at the wrong. No, I'm not. Wait, why is. Hold on. Oh, right, because. Right. Because when you go to the home route, it runs the portfolios thing. Okay. Jeez. So easy to forget. Hasn't even been 24 hours, I don't think. Okay. So And this is correct because there are no portfolios, so that's fine. So this seems good. Now we need to do a create portfolio method. So I'm thinking our table is working okay. Well, actually, let's see. Let's run this. We'll run this in SQL. I don't even have Sonoma. I did an upgrade because the SQL Workbench doesn't work, and I still, if I don't close Workbench every time, I get an error. Like if I tried to come back right now and run this, it would just close on me. So let's try. Let me grab this. Oh, I don't need the quotes. We'll have to do this a little bit differently because the where, we'll just won't use the where comment. So let's just get rid of this. It's not necessary for what we're doing. Um, this looks like it works. However, right, there's nothing to join because there's no portfolio. Let me just make sure the users is showing up here. Okay, good. All right, so that's all in there. And yes, of course, this portfolio thing's not going to show up because there are no portfolios on the left side. So again, I'll close this. Okay, but it looks like this is working okay. So now we need to create a portfolio, which is exciting. And so, whoops, class method, define, oops, maybe just new portfolio. Wow, what's going on here? Can't type portfolio. I will definitely need data for this one. We will query. See, where I'm stuck is it's one portfolio with lots of stocks, and I don't know why. Normally, this doesn't bother me. I think it's because I'm thinking you do them one at a time, and I don't want to hard code. Um, one thing we're going to do is insert into. Got that part. Insert into portfolios. Okay, because this is a new portfolio, so we're not updating. So this is just new. Insert into. Just keep this really simple. Insert into portfolios. Name. Whoops, don't need that. Name. See, here's where I'm confusing myself because, well, user ID, that's easy. It'll just be one of those. It's this whole stock ID thing, and I know you can pass a list into a query. I just haven't done it with MySQL. Let's see, do I have, look at our old code here with SQLite. Create portfolio post. So here I did, yep, name, portfolio, portfolio ID. Oh, okay, so I guess you can just do it this way. But I guess first I have to make each stock they put in into its own class. See, here it was just a list of stocks that dumped there. There was no OOP, so it was pretty easy. Um, So maybe the first thing is, maybe what first happens on this page. So like, let's pretend we're making a new route and just do portfolio, yeah, slash new methods equals post find new portfolio. Just build the data thing. I mean, it's going to have to change, but whoops. So data is going to be name, um, user ID. That one's easy. That'll just be the session. User ID. I guess it'll just be a symbols. I'm going to need to validate this to make sure the tickers are right before I do that. But for now, it will be some sort of, I guess that's where I could do the stocks. But it's required to have, but it will need a stock ID for each one. Just going to go ahead and Google something. Let's be more specific. SQL query, insert. Oh, I know what I can do. I can just loop it. That's what we can do. That is not what I was finding online. It was way, I think sometimes it's hard to know what to ask Google. I don't really want to use ChatGPT, so I got it. Stock ID. I will have to make the stocks be classes first, but that's okay. So this won't be a request.form. What we'll do here is we're going to have two different, so this will be portfolio data. Oops, this will be stock data. That's what we'll do. So stock will be And I'm actually gonna have to call the API because I only want the user to have to put in the ticker. So this is gonna have to get a little bit more fancy than I was thinking here, but that's okay. Let's just get this set up and then I can always change. See, there's gonna have to be some sort of like, so it'll be something like this, like tickers equals request.form.getList, and then it'll be tickers. And then it'll be for ticker and tickers, and we'll run the API to get, and what we'll do is we'll just have to have something like stock names equals empty list, and then this will basically um, you know, call API per ticker, and then it'll append um, that's annoying me. Call the API per ticker, get the data, and whatever that is. Yeah, it'll be something more like this. So like stock name equals API call, whatever that is. Then we will append stock names. So it'll be stock names dot append stock name. Then we will have a list of stock names. So it would be and again, we'll have to have for loops here, but at least we'll know that name. This is where I'm not sure if you can do. Like I could do a for loop on the whole thing. Oops. So it'd be something like I don't know. Trying to think. I just don't know if you can put a list here. But if you can, great. Then it's just stock names. I mean, worst case, I can for loop and run this multiple times. It's not a big deal. That's what I have to do. But I have a feeling Python's smart enough to not make you do that. And then ticker is tickers. Oh, can't do that. So it's actually all the data we need. What's going on here? Oh, geez. Data. Huh? Oh, I don't have a. Right. Okay. So Now we have to do, oh, I do have this insert into name. So then we're just running. Um, geez, I'm like running out of variable names to use that. Do I not have? I do not. Stock save stock data. But this is going to give me back, oh, this will give me back stock IDs. Yes. So then those stock IDs will go right here. I hope. That's it. I'm just not positive you can pass. Maybe okay, let me just. Hmm. Go to add symbols. Okay, add to portfolio. Add symbols. Define add symbols. The symbols equal empty list. Okay, so that's making sure and change it to uppercase. I don't need that anymore. You needed that for the trading view API used in the beginning. Not already in the database. Okay, yeah, okay, so it was just a for loop function I made. So, okay, yeah, I'm just gonna have to do that. I gotta think through that. Not a huge deal. I do need to check. So get the tickers for row and tickers. Well, I guess what we can do is, because they don't have the API yet, we can use, let me just close this out. We can use the, pretend this data is a, of course it's called stocks. Well, we can just import it as something else. So from, where's this saved? From Flask data, oh, dot static, dot data. How can you not do that? I know, yeah, from data, dot data, there we go, import stocks as I'll just say database. Okay, so now we don't have to use stocks again. We can just pretend it's actually let's just pretend as API. So API call. Perfect. So now we can just pretend we're making an API call. But I'm gonna have to run it's not that simple though. Yeah, I think I need a functions file, and I'm not really sure now that we're modularizing this way. Okay, so we'll just put it here where the init is, I guess. Seems to be what everyone else is doing. Right, so yeah, just do it here. Because I'm gonna have to make I mean, I'm gonna need something for the API, so and then so it'd be something like keep it simple, get stock name, stock, or let's say ticker. I think I need to do that. I almost feel like I could just do it here. Yeah, I mean, because it's really just stock name equals because it's going to come back as a JSON file. So API call is the data, and as long as we know, I don't know what it's going to be for the actual JSON call, but in here I have it called. Oh shoot, where's the data file? Static. I just have it called name, so whatever it is actually called. So that'll give me the name. There we go. That's easy. Okay, a lot going on here. I'll just so I don't have any errors. Okay, all right. Yeah, I don't know. I was making that so complicated. All right, so now we should have okay. So for tickers, that request that form, get a list of tickers for row and tickers. Oh yes, but it needs to be the name, obviously where the ticker is. So let's just do an if function. Yeah. So if row equals API call ticker, API call ticker, then no. Um, yeah, see, it's not going to work quite this way because it's going to call the API for that ticker and then it's going to just pull the name. So I really don't need this in real life, but for right now, I just have to loop through it. Um, do this. I think that works. So for I and tickers, so we're going through the list of tickers. Uh, then we loop through with that ticker, we loop through the API call data, which has tickers. If I equals the API call ticker, then we set the stock name to the API call name. And then we append it. I think that should work. Honestly, not positive, but I think the logic is there. I may need to tinker with that a little bit, but anyway, then we get the stock names and that can go here. Tickers we have. This isn't that big of a problem. It's kind of hard to do without data, though. I almost feel like I might just make a. So guilty of doing this way too many times. Why is there? Oh God, there's two of these now. I hate when it does that. Oh, that's just a backup file. I don't need that. That's fine. Whatever. Okay, we're just gonna run a test here because we're just gonna do a test. So here's what we're gonna do. What? Oh, whoops. So instead of this, we're just gonna make a list of tickers. It's gonna be MDB and dash. We're just gonna run this file. Okay. Oh, well, we're gonna need to print something. Okay, where is our issue? Oh, because I'm already in it. Oh gosh. Uh, okay. Looping through the dictionary. Oh, okay. Oh, we didn't append. So, okay. All right, right, because it's treating this as a. That's why. Okay. No. All right. I feel like it's kind of silly that I'm spending time on this because when I do the API call, I'm gonna call it by a ticker, and I'm just gonna pull name. So I'm not sure like this is honestly even helpful. Um, yeah, I think this is not a useful. It's not, yeah, it's basically just going to be. It's essentially going to be for ticker and tickers, and then it's just going to be an API call. Yeah, I won't even have to mess with that. So for tickers, API call ticker get name, and then it will just be stock names. Dot append the name or whatever. Yeah. And for right now, we'll just do it this way. Actually, let's do this. Okay. And also, of course, this isn't going to work. I'm going to have to do a for loop of the stock data. Um, which maybe I'll pass. Maybe what I'll do is I'll pass the. Yeah, I think what I'll do is I'll pass the. Whoops. I'm going to pass the data through here. Because it's going to have to run this multiple. It's going to have to run this actually potentially multiple times. So this will actually still be needed because if I need to just insert like add, let's call this actually add stock, and then so this will be for. I don't know why I'm blanking on this right now. Oh, because I'm running the stock name. I'm running the API in here. Actually makes a lot more sense. Yeah. Yep. That's why. I don't know that it's going to return me though multiple IDs when I do this. So this will just basically be stock name equals, or you can just call it name. Name equals, and actually we'll call this tickers. Name equals, again, API call ticker. That will get me the name, and then I would do the query. I have to do the query and the connect. So query equals, I don't even need that. Insert into stocks name ticker. Oh, I mean, it's just this. And it's just this. Oops. I guess this has to be called stock name. Name is stock name. And ticker is ticker. Oh, right. Yeah. That's a list of tickers. And then this will have to be tickers by you. Yeah. Okay. So this will loop through the tickers, obviously the length, the range. Then we will get the stock name by doing an API call on from the tickers list at position I, index I. The data will then be name, stock name that we just got here. Again, index the ticker at position I, and then we'll insert name and ticker here, query it. The one thing, this should work fine. The one thing I don't know, though, is how I need to get back an ID for each one of these. Because then those IDs are going to go here. And then I also need, this is going to be a big project. I feel like this would be good to do tomorrow since we're coming up on an hour anyway. I essentially need to get all the stocks. Basically, what needs to happen here is big picture. So we need to first, well, check if stock exists in stocks table. If not, comma, add stock to stock table. Then I need to get the ID of every one of those stocks, then retrieve stock stocks.id for every stock being added portfolio. Yeah. Then that will also have to be another for loop when we do the portfolio because it's going to have to add. It's going to have to keep all the lines the same except for the list of stocks. So what we'll do is just hard code. This will be hard coded, and then we'll for loop changing only this. So something along the lines of uh, for, I don't know, ID and, well, we'll probably have to use a range, but whatever, it gets the point across. For ID and stock IDs. And then we would do, and again, we'd have to do this over here instead, but well, I guess let's just do it this way. Like those stock IDs. And then this would just be and this will just be a list of, yeah. And again, this will have to happen on the I guess it doesn't have to. I mean, I guess I could pass the data in however we want. We could run the function here. I mean, maybe that's the better way to do it. I'm really not sure. I need to think through that. I need to think whether it's better to run I feel like this one should run here because this is just a lot going on, whereas this one, where am I? Oh goodness. Whereas this one I could easily run like the portfolio. Well, I don't have one, but just like a portfolio save right here and then just keep getting it. So, or you could do it all as one massive function now that I'm thinking about it. It could happen. I could have all this happen in one large, right? I could do something like, see, this is why I like having a test file because what I could do, I mean, I could just do something so simple like for I in range of length tickers, right? So I'm just gonna do this. I feel like I have other stuff to do, but this seems like fun. I feel like I'm repeating myself too. Dash. So for I in length of tickers, then we can do our data here, right? We can just do, well, no, first, sorry, I need to get a name. So we run name, probably call it stock name, just so we don't get confused. Your stock name equals this would be essentially, I'll put a note here so I don't forget tomorrow, but this is just basically API call where stock name will equal tickers. Oops. Yeah, stock name will equal like API call tickers at index I. Right, that's all that's going to do. So here I kind of have to. Well, what I can do is I just do names. Names. All coming back. JP Morgan, MongoDB, and DoorDash. So in place of that, in lieu of doing that, we're just going to do stock names, position I, but it's the same thing. And now we have the data. So stock data equals, and I just need name. Oops. Name. It's just stock name. And ticker is simply tickers I. And then we run the, let's go ahead and do it. We'll run add stock. I need to import these two things. I may need that. I'm not actually positive, but and then we will run stock equals stock dot oops add stock, passing the data in. Oops, stock data. Okay, and this will get me a user ID, a stock ID for each one of these. I then will need a stock ID's empty list, and what we will do here is stock IDs dot append. Actually, yes, I can do. Ooh, where are we? Dot append stock. And that will actually be, we'll just call it the stock ID. Oops. So this will actually run the function, save it in the database, get me a stock ID. Then, or no, actually, I don't even need to do that. We have a stock ID. Now we will do the, oops, portfolio data will equal name, user ID, stock ID. Yeah. Name, which these will be from request.id, but for right now, I'll just have to make one up, I guess. Or, yes, because the name, this will be, again, so I don't forget it. But we'll just make one up. So we'll just do, oh shoot, do that. Can we, let's do all caps, make it really cool looking. Skywalker, okay. Not that cool looking, but whatever. Name, then the user ID will just simply be, again, I'm gonna make a note, this will just be session ID, but I'm just gonna have to look up what is his ID? 1, okay. again, this would be session ID. Okay, session user ID. Okay, great. Rocking and rolling now. Yo. Okay, then stock ID, easy, is just equal to stock ID. And boom, that's it. Then we can run. I need to start naming these. Oh shoot, I didn't make a. I don't love using that. I'm just gonna write pass here. Well, I may come back and use that one, but I just want to make a. I'm gonna call it save. Just make this real simple right now. Data query portfolios name user. And then values, percent, name, user, and stock ID. Okay. Ooh. Return. You know what I don't know if I have on stocks is, oh, I do, okay. All right, if this works, I'm gonna be super happy. We'll see. All right, so we got tickers, stock names. I don't need this because we're just gonna run one massive for loop that this will be an API call. We'll insert, instead of stock names I, we're going to do tickers I, position I, which will give us a stock name. Then we'll create the stock data, which will be this name, and ticker at position I from tickers. Then we get a stock ID. By running this, this will return the ID it's created. Then here we will pull this from request.form, whatever the user wants to call it, Skywalker will say. Set to session, yeah, this will be set to the session ID. That's easy, which is just one we're going to put there. And then we're going to put in the stock ID, and we're going to run this 3 times for I in range len tickers. I guess we'll see what happens. Oh, got nothing to lose, right? I'm going to call it quits after this too. Well, probably going to figure this out before I quit, but. All right, all right, all right. Oh, okay, because we're in Flask. Let me undo that. What if I move this file? Gosh. Oh, I'm in the wrong directory. May have got it. May have got it. Let's check SQL. Actually, let's run this because this is really what we care about. Eureka. We did it. Holy smokes. So we've got, right, because this portfolio, yep. So portfolio one, two, ooh, no, not right. Because it created a new portfolio for each one. So that's the only issue here I see, because this is, we joined on users. So this is, yeah, ID one for Luke. So that makes sense. Luke Skywalker and his password. And it pulled the stocks. But unfortunately, and this is right, one, two, three as we wanted, but unfortunately, this isn't right. Logic was right though. So I mean, I guess that's a good thing. Hmm. Shoot. It's going to auto increment the portfolio. And the problem is I have to at least create, when I do the create profile, I have to create at least one instance of the portfolio. And then from there, it could be update. So we could do, yeah, I'm just going to put notes here because I seem to, I'm going to start first thing tomorrow, but close comma, but oh wait, can I have a portfolio with the same ID though? See, this is why I was creating custom IDs on the SQLite because this was the issue I was running into. But I'm not really sure how to avoid that. I gotta think about that. Only portfolios with. Well, I guess what I could do is because a user, when I go to pull from the portfolio, user is gonna have a session ID, and we're gonna search by user. And actually, let me add that on here and just see if this works. Because remember, I removed this. So let's do. All right, SQL thing is crazy. I guess don't use a Mac with SQL. Where user, hold on, I'm forgetting, getting late. Users.id is equal to 1. Okay, so you know what? This will work because what we'll do is when we actually pull portfolios now, we will pull it by portfolio name. The downside is I just have to make sure to check that a user doesn't use 2 portfolio names, but it's unique because there's only 3 portfolios. And if each of those names is unique in respect to a user, so it wouldn't matter if 2 users have the same portfolio name. I just need to check that that user only uses it. And why would a user, except by accident? So it's, I think it's okay to like tell the user, hey, you can't name 2 portfolios the same thing. Worst case basis, I could set up the table here to have like a, literally call it a portfolio ID and have that hard coded. Like I have this hard coded. So we would do like, um, when we put this all in, we would just have like a line that said, portfolio ID, and it would just be hard coded to whatever. That's what I did on the SQLite. It seems like more work than's necessary. Again, I can always dump the database and just, it's pretty easy. This isn't like this thing is deployed yet. But that's my thing. I think we can do this, but created all new portfolios with IDs. So we need to pull. session user ID and portfolios dot name. Okay, so I think tomorrow, um, I mean, this works. It works. It's just it created an individual ID, and actually, I think that's fine for right now. However, I just need to do this basically tomorrow, and we're going to work on getting Y Finance fired up. It's pretty easy to use. But yeah, I mean, I think it's good. If tomorrow the goal is to get the page, which I already have in Bootstrap, I just copied over to show the portfolio, to be able to make portfolios and call the API, the Yahoo Finance API, and get the portfolios to display. That's fine. I don't need to do the add, delete, or any of the moving average stuff. And then that stuff's pretty easy. That's just I already have functions made for that from the old version. But if we can get this all set up, it'd be good. So I think that will do it. Shoot, I don't even know where I am in this file now. Okay, let's get this pushed to Git. Um, all right. So this is all set up at Git. We can get rid of that. So we'll stop sharing. So again, tomorrow we'll go ahead and make sure that I have it's weird. And make sure that I have the portfolios. So basically the homepage, once you log in or register, will be able to, well, I guess we'll have to do a create portfolio page. And actually what we might do is just do that on the back end, and then just at least on the homepage be able to show the actual portfolios. I think that would be good. That way we just make sure we can call it by session ID and then the unique name and display it by the three names. I think that'll work. And then we can worry about actually, I don't know if we have time, maybe we'll do the create portfolio page. We'll see. But that's all for today.